wee little man, if you know what I'm talking about, clap.
That's not the song that I grew up with. Is that the song that you grew up with? We're like Zacchaeus was a wee little man. And wee
Welcome to
little man
the Three Amphibians. My name's Turtle.
Climbed up in a sycamore
That's
tree.
Reptile. And that's Snake. We today are talking about Z for Zacchaeus.
Zippers.
What comes after you climb to a sycamore tree?
My
For the Lord he wanted to
sycamore
see.
For the
tree.
Lord, I can't
For
believe it.
Today, we are talking about Zacchaeus. Why don't you give the recap, Jordan?
Jordan. Oh boy. Zacchaeus.
You didn't like touching
I
people.
think, yeah, we know he's small. I think it's interesting that the Bible tells us some of these fun details. Anyway, he's a very wealthy person. I believe he was a tax collector.
The
Oh,
chief,
yes, he
chief
was.
tax collector.
Chief
Yeah.
tax collector, and tax collectors in their day were notorious for taking more money than they were required to. That's how these people made their profit. They would take what was required for their government, and then if they wanted to get paid, they would just add on however much money they wanted to. So, tax collectors would go around taking money. Zacchaeus was the same. Jesus comes to visit the community, and Zacchaeus, for some reason, is so eager, is so excited to meet Jesus, to hear Jesus, that he climbs up in a sycamore tree to be able to see Jesus because he was so short. Jesus then calls him down after, he's encouraging him, encouraging the community, challenging him, and Zacchaeus says, "Yo, dog, I am going to pay back everybody I've stolen from twice the amount that I took from them." And Jesus never calls him to do this specific command. But Zacchaeus' heart was changed by Jesus, and he knew that if he wanted to follow Jesus, he had to let go of the thing. For him, it was money. Let go of what was holding him back. And so Zacchaeus then takes Jesus. They share a meal at his house. Jesus was also notorious for eating with sinners and tax collectors.
Because they were the best cooks.
They were the best cooks.
Well, he had a lot
Hated
of money,
him,
so
though,
he hired the best cooks probably. Yeah, that's true.
And so that's the story of Zacchaeus.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I always picture Zacchaeus as Danny DeVito.
Who?
Are you kidding me? Danny DeVito would
He
be
does.
a good one. So interesting. Zacchaeus' name means clean, pure, or innocent, which is very interesting because he was not that beforehand.
He was tax collector.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was like super dirty,
He was
dirty
like
money.
Matt.
Are you trying to do a modern context?
You
old
are the modern
Zacchaeus.
context. You're short.
So,
you're
when you-
stout. You are a jerk. You're all of these things. Society hates you.
Sycamore trees are interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was reading about Zacchaeus and I saw sycamore trees, and I looked when I googled sycamore trees, the first thing that came up was American sycamore trees.
Oh, we don't
And I was like, I don't want an American sycamore tree. So I looked it up. So sycamore trees were actually fig trees.
You know, I thought that.
Yeah, they think
For
that
some
maybe
reason.
the leaves that Adam and Eve wore might have actually been from these fig trees because they had this particular type of sycamore trees, which are fig trees, had really big leaves.
And you know what? Our sycamore trees here in America do have, really enormous leaves. They're big as your face. They cover all sorts of stuff.
And it symbolized regeneration. The sycamore tree symbolized regeneration in the ancient
Yeah.
world. So I wonder, was it actually the sycamore tree that he climbed up into, or was it the author using that tree symbolically because Zacchaeus, was regenerated when he met Jesus? You're gonna have to sort him twice, though, the before and after.
I will
right?
sort him twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Before.
the first
Oh,
didn't
because
have to.
before. Yeah.
pre-Zacchaeus,
Yeah.
pre-Keus, Slytherin.
No, it's pre-Jesus.
Pre-Zacchaeus.
Pre-Jesus.
He's a
Zacchaeus.
Slytherin. Before he met Jesus, he was a
Pre-Jizak.
Slytherin.
Pre-Jizak.
Can I do this?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so he's a
Matt's in a
Slytherin.
mood today.
I am.
I told you.
And afterwards, he's totally
Afterward, no, still a Slytherin.
What?
Because you can be,
Come on.
a generous Slytherin. Yes.
He just didn't plan for two different ones, so he used the same one.
Wait. Who's an example of a generous?
Slughorn. I won't go so far as to say he was generous with his
Slughorn,
wealth, he didn't throw money around, but he hosted all sorts of parties, invited kids for the benefit of them to enjoy themselves. Now, yeah, he was sort of the center of attention at these parties, and he was trying to make all sorts of connections, but Slughorn, Professor Slughorn, did like to share his wealth.
He was a Slytherin?
He was a Slytherin. Yeah, he was head of Slytherin House, in fact, after
Oh, I knew that. Yeah,
things took a turn with Snape.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can say that if you want.
So he was
You're
a double
entitled to
Slytherin.
your own opinion, I guess, in any.
But a
opinion.
better Slytherin afterwards.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was like the $6 million Slytherin. We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Man, we
Play the
crushed
theme
this
song
video.
from $6
We
Million
did.
Man at the end of this.
You might not even cut anything.
Well, I'm gonna have to cut a lot of things. Wait for Brian to be like another interesting thing.
Well, did you know that sycamore trees could get up to 20 meters tall? Which in my research said was tall, but I don't think that's really that tall.
20 meters?
20
But think
meters,
about it in
60
their
feet.
day.
60 feet.
Like, I don't know what a tall tree in the Middle East would be like, though.
But trees, there are probably still trees that were like that. Well, no, maybe they weren't.
But
well, they would
everybody
have been
was
thousands
super
of years
short,
old.
too.
Is that a spider on the wall?